You have been taught that a business means building something. That is the lie. You do not need to build. You do not need a skill. You need one thing you already have: a space someone else wants to use. Think about it: a blank wall, a spare parking slot, a bare corner of a lot, a patch of ground you mow and forget. Owners walk past these every single day. They never notice the money sitting right there. Here is the number that should stop you. A landowner who lets a phone carrier host one tower can collect $500 to $3,000 a month. He did nothing but say yes. No building, no crew, no skill, just access. That is the whole idea today. I call it the access toll method. You are not selling a product. You are not doing labor. You control a space and you charge a toll for access to it. That is it. Quick and honest note first. This is for educational purposes only, and it is not financial advice. Every number here is a real range from real operators, and your results depend on your location, your terms, and your effort. Okay? Good. Now meet Harry. Harry read water meters for the city. Boring route, quiet truck, hundreds of driveways and blank walls a week. One day he really looked at a bare fence, and everything changed. We will follow Harry across 6 spaces. By the end, you will know exactly which space to price first. 6 boring spaces, ranked by how little you have to touch them. Let us go. Space 1. The cell tower land lease. This is the laziest money on the whole list. A phone carrier needs ground for a tower to close a coverage gap. If you control the right patch of ground, they pay you to host it. A single rural ground lease often runs $500 to $1,250 a month. Strong sites climb past $4,000. A busy rooftop in a city hosting more than one carrier can clear $6,500 a month or more. Picture that. One tower on a corner of ground you already own. A check every month for doing nothing. That is the dream that starts this list. Why does this pay so well? Coverage. Carriers lose customers where the signal drops. Your elevation, your line of sight, your spot near a busy road. That fixes their problem. You are not renting dirt. You are renting a fix for their coverage gap. Now the beautiful part. What does it cost you to start? Almost nothing. You already control the ground. The tower company pays for the build, the permits, and the equipment. Your only real job is the lease terms. The land is the moat, not the cost. So how do you actually land one? 2 ways. Carriers use site acquisition scouts who hunt for land near dead zones, and you can also list your ground on a lease marketplace. A firm like Vertical Consultants helps landowners negotiate the rent without adding any labor at all. Steel in the Air, a respected negotiation guide, documents that most rural landowners should expect $500 to $1,250 a month before an expert pushes it higher. 2 independent sources, same story. Here is the honest timeline. This one is slow. From first contact to a signed lease and a built tower can take 6 to 18 months because carriers run their own site search. So think of the tower as a patient play. You plant it and you wait. The one thing most people get wrong? They grab the first flat offer. Smart owners ask for annual increases and never lock themselves in forever. More on that trap later. How big is the pond? There are tens of thousands of coverage gaps across the country. You only need one carrier to want your spot. One yes. That is the whole game. Space 2. The parking space rental. Now we speed up. A tower takes months. A parking slot can pay you in days. A spare driveway or slot rents for $50 to $250 a month on peer-to-peer apps. A bigger lot that stores boats and RVs can pull up to $2,200 a month. Picture your empty driveway on a weekday. A commuter paying you rent to leave a car there while you are at work. Stacy Spar, an insurance agent in Oregon, rents a spare lot for RV and boat storage. She earns about $175 a month per vehicle, and roughly $2,500 a month in total after expenses. Real person, real slot, real money. How do you start? You list. Apps like Neighbor, Pavement, Curb Flip and spacer, put your space in front of drivers who need it. Good photos, a fair rate, clear access hours. That is your whole setup. Startup cost is basically zero. Realistic timeline? Fast. Days to a few weeks once you are listed. There are millions of drivers hunting for cheap parking near downtowns and event venues. You do not need a fleet of them. You need a handful. Easy. A common question comes up here. Is it safe to let a stranger park at my place? Fair worry. The apps collect the deposit and hold the payment, and you set the access rules. Gate code, hours, no overnight if you want. You never hand over a key. You hand over a window of access. That is the toll and nothing more. Space 3. The wall or fence adds space lease. This is where it gets fun. You have a blank wall or a long fence along a busy road. To an advertiser, that blank wall is a billboard waiting to happen. Lead with the payoff. An urban wall in view of heavy traffic can command $1,000 to $10,000 a month. Landmark spots earn far more. Even a quiet rural sign pays $500 to $2,000 a year just sitting there. Picture a plain brick wall you never thought about, quietly earning like a second rent check. One documented owner negotiated a flat $1,500 a month for a single wall lease, plus another $500 for every extra advertiser added to the structure. He does not design the ads. He does not print them. He does not sell them. He grants access to a wall and cashes the check. Why does a wall pay that much? Eyeballs. The rent tracks. Traffic count and visibility. And here is the pro move. You can take a flat fee, or you can take a share of the ad company gross, usually 15 to 25%, with an annual increase built in. The share is where the real upside lives. How do you actually start? You call an outdoor advertising company or a local ad broker. They scout visible walls and fences along traffic corridors every day. You can also list the wall yourself with a simple lease template. Startup cost is tiny, $0 to $500 for a little cleanup. The ad company installs and maintains everything. Realistic timeline? A few months. An ad broker has to scout, negotiate, and install. So it is not instant, but it is not the tower either. Somewhere in the middle. The one thing most people get wrong here is the term length, and it is a big one. We will hit that trap in a moment because it is the single most expensive mistake on this whole list. The pond? Think of every busy road in your town. Thousands of cars pass certain walls every day. You need one advertiser to want one wall. That is it. Let me stop for one honest confession, because Harry hit this exact wall. Harry got excited. His first fence deal was a flat rate with a 15-year lock and an automatic renewal. Sounds safe, right? It was not. Within 2 years, traffic on that road doubled. The ad revenue on his fence climbed, and Harry was frozen at his old flat rate. He left thousands of dollars a year on the table. Ouch. Here is the fix, in the same breath. Cap any lease at 5 to 10 years with no automatic renewal, and ask for a share of the gross with an annual increase instead of a flat fee. Write down one rule. Never sign a term longer than you would be comfortable being wrong about the market for. Say it out loud. That one rule protects every deal on this list. Space 4. The seasonal lot lease. Now we climb. A lot you control does not need a tenant all year. It needs a season, a pop-up market, a weekend event, a seasonal storage run. A bare lot rents by the day or the weekend. Small neighborhood lots pull a few $100s a day. Premium city lots, in a prestige neighborhood, have commanded $3,600 to $24,000 a day for a retail or event activation. Picture your empty lot on a Saturday, filled with a farmer's market, paying you rent while vendors do all the work. Who pays you? Event organizers, farmers, market operators, and drivers hunting seasonal storage. They find lots on sites like Craigslist and Neighbor, or through simple direct outreach. Often the first deal comes from you walking up to a local market organizer with your lot dimensions and your access terms. Easy start. Here is how to think about the money. Say you rent your lot to a weekend market for $300 a Saturday. That is 1 day of access. 4 Saturdays a month is $1,200 for ground that sat empty before. The vendors bring their own booths. You bring the footprint and the access window. Startup cost? near $0 to $1,000 for basic signage or a little fencing. The organizer brings the rest. Realistic timeline is fast, 2 to 4 weeks to book a first market or a first storage tenant. The one thing most people get wrong? They rent to the wrong crowd once, get a mess, and quit. Smart owners set a clear season window, take a deposit, and require the lot returned clean. Simple routine. It protects the ground and it protects the next booking. The pond here is every event and every market looking for a home this season. Dozens in a mid-sized town. You need one organizer to say yes to one weekend. Start there. Space 5. The community garden plot rental. This one is gentle, steady, and genuinely lovely. You take a lot you control, mark it into plots, add water access, and rent each plot to a gardener for the growing season. Small beds rent for $15 to $55 a season. Mid-size plots run $28 to $70. Bigger micro farm blocks can pull $350 to $600 each. Picture one back lot divided into a dozen little plots. A dozen gardeners each handing you a season check, and they do all the planting. Elliott Farm Services rents 1,000-square-foot garden plots for $84 a season, tax included, with a $50 refundable deposit on each. Real operator, real terms, real repeat demand every spring. How do you start? You subdivide, mark the plots, run a water line, and list. Gardeners find you through extension offices, city parks departments, and sites like Shared Earth and Yard Yum. Startup runs $500 to $5,000 depending on scale, for the fencing and the water setup, and that setup is the moat that lets you charge every season after. Realistic timeline? You can fill plots inside a single spring sign-up window, and you never plant a thing. You provide subdivided ground, water, and a simple seasonal agreement with a refundable deposit. That is the whole job. Here is a question people always ask. What happens if a plot renter walks away mid-season? Easy. That $50 refundable deposit covers a little cleanup, and the season agreement means the plot frees up for next spring anyway. Steady demand. Low drama. This is the calmest toll on the whole list, and it renews itself every single year. Space 6. The best one. The film location and photo shoot venue. Here is the highest ceiling on the entire list, and it might be the space you least expect. A house, a warehouse corner, a field, a rooftop. Film crews and photographers pay to rent your space for a single day, at the top rate on this list. How top? Standard spaces rent from about $89 an hour. Premium homes and studios pull $100 to $300 an hour and up. Big production spaces have commanded $900 $60 to $24,000 a day. Sit with that. A home that earns $100 a night as a short stay can earn $100 an hour as a film location instead. Same house. Wildly different check. Gigster lists a Los Angeles film location renting from $89 an hour, priced below comparable local spots and still booking. That is the model. Photographers, location scouts, and small production teams book through platforms like Gigster, Peerspace, and Aave. The owner hands over access. And that is all. Let me show you the math, and I will show my work. Say you book 2 weekend shoots a month, 4 hours each, at $89 an hour. 4 hours is $356. 2 of those is $712 a month from a space you already own. Stack that on the parking slot and a couple of garden plots, and you are looking at a real first year in the range of $8,000 to $14,000, part-time, after fees. Not a fantasy, a stack. Why does this pay the most? Character. Production teams pay for the location, not for any labor. Great light, a unique look, square footage, a desirable neighborhood. That is the value. Startup cost is near zero. Good photos and a clear profile are usually enough because renters return the space in the condition they found it. How do you start? You list with strong photos, a minimum booking of about 4 hours, clear rules on which areas are allowed, and a guest cap. Smart hosts also ask for event insurance and a deposit. You provide no crew, no gear, no styling, just the space and the access. The one thing most people get wrong? They price by the day out of nervousness. Price by the hour, with a 4-hour minimum instead. The hourly rate, booked a few times a month beats a single flat day rate almost every time. And here is a question new hosts always ask. What if a crew damages something? Simple. You ask for a refundable deposit up front, and you require event insurance for larger shoots. You take before and after photos. You mark the rooms that are off limits. The deposit and the photos do the worrying for you, so you can just say yes and collect the toll. The pond? Thousands of shoots need locations every month, and platforms are hungry for fresh spaces. You need a handful of bookings, not a full calendar, to make this space sing. So there is the pattern. Did you catch it? Every single one of these 6 is the same move. You never build. You never learn a trade. You control a space someone else needs. And you charge a toll for access. A tower on your ground, a car on your slot, an ad on your wall, a market on your lot, a gardener on your plot, a camera in your room. 6 spaces, 1 method, the access toll method. And here are the 3 filters that tell you which space to price first. Ready? Filter 1. Control before construction. Pick the space you already hold so your cost stays near 0. Filter 2. Near 0 effort. Pick the space you can run in an hour a week, with a deposit and a simple agreement doing the heavy lifting. Filter 3. A tenant pool already in your zip. Pick the space someone nearby already wants, whether that is a carrier, a driver, an advertiser, an organizer, a gardener, or a film crew. Run any space through those 3 filters. The winner is not whoever owns the most land. The winner is whoever notices the underused space first and prices its access. Which brings us to Harry. Did he act? He did. Harry started with the easiest space he already controlled. He listed his empty driveway on a parking app one Tuesday night, set his hours, and priced the access. His first booking landed that same week. Small. Real. The toll had started. Now it is your turn. And here is your one job for the next 24 hours. Identify one space you already control. A wall, a slot, a corner of a yard, a spare room. Search what a similar space rents for near you and write that number down. That is your access rent proof before you sign a single thing. And even if the number comes back small, good. You just learned something most people never bother to check. You looked at your own space like an asset. That is the whole shift. David Chilton put it plainly in The Wealthy Barber. Wealth is built slowly, by small, boring, steady decisions, not by one lucky swing. That is exactly this. 6 boring spaces. 1 quiet toll at a time. So tell me, which of these 6 would you price first? Drop the number 1 through 6 in the comments. Whichever space gets the most replies, I will do a full deep dive on it next. Pick your number, then go find your space.